And welcome to the Note Buyers Academy. I believe that this is going to be the best academy that we've ever had. My goal is that you close a deal within the next 90 days.
Worked with brokers in the past that just forward on whatever is in the ad straight to us, and a lot of the time it's kind of gibberish, and it really requires the seller to be contacted, more information. So the example of the submission form that Donna had is excellent. If you could do something like that with those leads, or even something a little more minimal, not even just for FNAC, any investor will appreciate it. Because just forwarding that Craigslist ad, it really gets us nowhere.
I agree, and I didn't mean for them to forward the ad, so I appreciate that very much. And that is, you know, that goes without saying for anything. Like, I have people, literally, who have sent me printouts of auction sites. Will any of these notes work? I mean, I can go to an auction site. You know, the idea is that you need to make contact with the person. You need to get the details. You need to analyze it and see if it's a decent deal, and you need to move forward on it. I don't want just you to copy. We need to move on. What do you?
Could you go ahead and talk about a daisy chain?
A daisy chain is when you have sent out a letter and multiple people. I'm trying to figure out your context is what relates to this, because it seems totally out in left field to me right now. A daisy chain is when.
A daisy chain is where you're not the principal. You're 5 removed from the principal.
But what does that have to do with these letters in Craigslist? I'm like. Totally.
Well, Craigslist, you'll have a lot of daisy chains coming down.
Oh, okay. Okay. But with Craigslist, I'm telling you that I have a lot of people, that's where they find their deals, is on Craigslist. A daisy chain is when you have multiple people that I send it to somebody and they send it to somebody else and they send it to somebody else. And eventually, you know what happens? It comes back to me. You know, I'm the one that put it out there, and it's gone through a whole bunch of people, but then I wind up getting the note that I originally put out. It doesn't work. Pam? People who own notes are posting them for sale on Craigslist.
Under what?
Why?
Under real estate?
Lots of people are selling properties on Craigslist.
Well, yeah, but
they're doing the same thing with notes.
They're
it's
doing
become
it
very popular.
in the real estate section then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm. Okay. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is way underrated. When I talk to successful people, especially when we're going to talk about non-performing notes tomorrow, when I say, how did you get a hold of the right person there? Oh, LinkedIn. I friended him. Send him an email. It is the craziest thing. When you call bankers, you know, they don't want to take your phone call. But man, if they get an email saying, hey, I want to join your network. Oh, yeah, I got somebody else in my network. Oh, yeah, I got somebody else. I mean, isn't that crazy? I mean, it works. And I had one gal who, she's brand new to LinkedIn, and she started building her network. And she was somehow emailing the people. After they would join, she would shoot them an email back, you know, I'm glad we've connected, and saying something about, I'm buying notes. I do all types of notes, non-performing as well as seller finance notes. If you have any or you know of anyone, let me know. And I mean, the first time I sat down with her, she had a list of 10 different leads that she got off of LinkedIn. One of them was a pool of 50 notes, seller finance notes. So LinkedIn, you really can get to presidents and CEOs of companies and decision makers, and they answer you. So we can't possibly do that in a 4-day event here. I couldn't, but someone could spend 4 days teaching you how to build a business on LinkedIn. I personally know people. I know one woman who has built an international business all online using LinkedIn. Okay? And there's ways to do that. I highly recommend Google it, go on YouTube. I'm sure there's videos. I did like a 6-week course on, every week we'd have an hour-long video on another way to use LinkedIn to get business. I really recommend that. Of all of the different ways, if I were, well, I have to give 2 ways. Of all the different ways, if I had to pick specifically, aside from networking, I would either do direct mail or LinkedIn. That's where I see the most leads coming in, direct mail or LinkedIn. But the truth is that after you get in the business and you're sending out letters and you're doing postcards, maybe you're blogging, networking is by far your best source. People referring other people to you, like this John guy calling me up because he saw my website. That type of thing will work. You get to the point where you don't have to do any advertising. They just call you. At Cincinnati Re, it got to the point where everybody knew. If they have a note for sale, call Donna. She's the one that buys notes. And that's where you want to get to. But it takes time to get there. So in the meantime, get on LinkedIn. That is really worth it for you to develop a marketing plan, both for performing and non-performing notes. You can build your own website. Doesn't have to be anything extravagant. A very simple website helps you to build credibility. I recommend that you do that because nowadays that's what people do. They get your letter and they're going to want to look at your website to see who you are. So at least get a simple website put up, and you might want to include like definitions about notes and mortgages and how the process works and how they can make it better for you, that if they send a copy of the note and different things, and make sure to keep track of your pay history if you ever want to sell it. Tips like that will help people. What makes the Academy are the people who come. Okay, thank you.